Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technicolor rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chris, a Boingo Rider Gaston, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner.
The man who is coming down with something that probably isn't COVID, the Vacuuminator is here.
Oh boy, end of year wrestling.
We did it.
One full year. The quote,
Have
unquote.
we been doing this show all fucking year?
I don't fucking know when we started. We've been doing it a while.
Oh no. I know we started Twit in February. Buster reminded me of that last week. So
Yep.
that was horrifying.
Time, it moves forward. I just realized in February, the Boingo Writer Twitch channel will be at 6 months.
Sick.
Yep. But in the meantime, we are talking about the professional wrestling that we watched in the week. So AEW, we watched AEW.
We watched the old AEW.
Yeah. I need to go and watch Deadlock Pro. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's
I don't
Deadlock Pro
know.
Wrestling. Okay, so basically, it's our future goal. It's a wrestling podcast that basically started their own promotion.
Good for them.
Yeah, and they've like released an episode a week for the past like month. So there's 3 episodes up free on YouTube, 40 minutes pop.
Damn, I should probably do that.
Yeah. The wrestler I showed you earlier, Kid Bandit, was on the first 2, and I think they might be on the 3rd.
Sick.
Yeah. But in the meantime, the wrestling we did watch. So, we gotta go back in time to last Friday. As we...
Friday, gotta get a new title on Friday.
Speaking of titles, Rampage, Holiday Bash. This is one of the main things on the card, but would you like to go through the card of that Rampage?
All right, boys and girls, AEW Rampage 12/25/2021 Holiday Bash from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. Start off with Jungle Boy with Jurassic Express versus Isaiah Cassidy with the HFO. Jungle Boy won that match. We then got Ricky Starks calling out Dante Martin on commentary. A Miro video package, which then went to Hook versus Bear Bronson. Hook tapped Bear Bronson out in the Red Rum. Eddie Kingston and Daniel Garcia had a video package. Legit Layla Hirsch took on Chris Statlander with Orange Cassidy. Hirsch ended up tapping out in an armbar. And then the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes with the Enforcer Arn Anderson took on the Spanish God Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. And Cody pinned after 3 Crossroads and a Tiger Driver 98 to become the new and first ever 3-time TNT champion. Let's get right into it. This championship match and the results. Boingo, how you feeling?
Okay, here's the thing. I am fully in the camp that is Cody is working everybody. This is also part of the work. This is part of the story. I dig it.
It's all part of the plan.
And here's the thing. People will go like, oh no, he hasn't turned. Buddy, he turned the second he came out, challenged for the title, and went one good guy to another.
Good luck, kid.
Good luck, kid. Like, no good man says, I'm a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a nice
Also,
guy. That's like immediate red flags. Everybody should know this by now.
Also, I managed to stay spoiler free for this match, and I told you to stay off the internet so you could stay spoiler free. Because I got worked. I dead ass thought this match was supposed to be a look how far we've come. The first Dynamite was Cody and Sammy, and Cody beat him clean, and now we're gonna see Sammy defend and keep the title that Cody established against Cody. So I was just kind of my sister's staying with us at the moment, and she's a very casual AEW fan. So we were watching Rampage together, and we were just kind of shooting the shit back and forth about what's been going on with Cody and Sammy lately, and she doesn't like Sammy because she thinks he looks like a douchebag. So I was just kind of like, ah, but he's a nice guy and he does this vlog and blah blah blah, and we're not really paying attention to the match. And then it starts to heat up, and she's like, oh look, he's losing, and I'm like, well, no, he's not. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. Huh? What? What's the crap? Oh, oh! And then I turned into SpongeBob in the SpongeBob movie when they're introducing the the Krusty Krab too, and he's in the audience just screaming at everybody. That was me.
Uh, there's something specific about the Tiger Driver though that we needed to mention. The setup for the Tiger Driver '98 is the same
It's
setup for a pedigree.
uh-huh, and that's all the teasing, the signaling. Let's not forget, a couple weeks ago during a show we weren't able to discuss, he went for plunder under the ring, grabbed a golden shovel, and said, "Lean in."
Like legit, like people are going like, "Oh man, Cody's so delusional." Like at this point in time, I don't think there's anybody going, "Oh, Cody's delusional," thinking he's a babyface. Everybody's starting to go, "Oh, we're being worked."
Mm-hmm. Especially because pe people figured out the tattoo isn't real a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah,
No. Okay. Fuck. How?
there's a few very well hidden backstage photos where you can see he doesn't have it.
Has this man been having a neck tattoo for fucking kayfabe? If this is true, this man is the greatest professional wrestler of all time.
He admits it.
Hey. Here's the thing: greatest professional wrestler, greatest wrestler, still Malachi.
I'm guessing it's like a stencil or a temporary tattoo that he just applies daily.
It's very possible, or maybe it's like something that lasts like 3 weeks,
Hmm.
and he gets to apply it every like whenever he needs to.
Yeah, gets it touched up before every TV appearance.
Yeah. Like if that's legitimate, has that been part of the work? Was that a work?
If so, that goes back 2 fucking years, y'all. And remember what a lot of analysts were saying when it was first introduced. Well, if nothing else, it makes it very easy for people to heal on him in the future.
Like there's so much because this is such a weird, subtle turn character decision. Like in the same way Hangman was the most subtle babyface title chase possible, full of character and nuance and depth. This is a weird metatextual. This is if Grant Morrison wrote a wrestling storyline.
Mhm.
This is legitimately like Grant Morrison was like, and then he gets a fake tattoo, and people think it's shit. But he's not shit. He's smart. Like what the
Good.
fuck?
Cody's good. You're all look, y'all can hate him. You're supposed to be starting to hate him, but he's good. And I'll never say he's not because people don't like him.
Uh, like I am dead curious. Like what's gonna be the end result of all of this? Like how is this gonna wrap up? Because like
Well,
right
we'll
now,
talk about that as we go on because there's more segments. Right now, my biggest curiosity is just because I haven't seen the spoilers for this week's Rampage. I want to see what's happened to the belt because remember the last time Cody had the belt, it was still the finished version that ended up being Brody's version.
hmm
But the time when he had an actual proper reign, it was the unfinished silver and red one. So I'm wondering, like, okay, is he gonna solidify the belt as what it is now? Is he going to factory reset it back to that silver look, or are we going to get a true Cody version that's like red, white, and blue?
know what I would love? Silver plates, white leather.
Ooh, mama.
make it like
Yes.
really clean, harken back to the Intercontinental Championship that he had in WWE.
Oh, just imagine him bleeding on that thing.
Oh yeah, blood, like so much you can do. Also, it's pure white, like a baby face.
Mm-hmm.
So much you can do with that. Speaking of pure white though, fucking Miro, that promo.
Miro is stuck in frickin' John Oliver's COVID void.
But like just the vitriol in his voice was amazing.
Yeah.
Hook is still fucking great.
Hook is wonderful. Hook is the best little boy in the entire undercard right now.
The best thing here's the best thing. They gave him a first match, which was basically a squash to show how strong he is, and then they put him in this match to let him
Proper
sell
David and
some,
Goliath shit.
to give him some selling, so people who are like a little bit like, maybe he's a one trick pony, can go like, oh no, he can, okay, he can hang.
And then people got upset about him standing up right after taking a move. As if Sting, a fucking 62-year-old man, doesn't do that every week.
Yeah, that's dumb. He's young. He hasn't earned it. Fuck off.
It's not the 70s anymore, bro.
Yeah. You want to know how he earned it? Listen to the fucking crowd. He's earned it.
Yeah. People were shouting for Hook during the Ricky Starks segment so loudly that they actually had to reshoot it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That makes me feel a little sad for Ricky. Just because, like, he has so much talent himself.
Hmm.
Like, you know, I want to see him have the capabilities, go through the capabilities that I know he has. You know what I
Do
mean?
you think we're gonna get a storyline where Taz does to Ricky what he did to Brian, and he's just like, "All right, my son's ready to go. Give me that belt so I can give it to him. Give me that belt so I can give it to him." And he's like, "No, fuck you. I earned this. I thought I was your special boy."
He's my actual
Really?
special boy. He full on quotes Vince McMahon. This is the product of my semen. Trying to think what else. Jungle Boy's also always great. He's just always good.
Yeah, it's all right, Jungle Boy match.
Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander though.
Very solid. The women's division has been on the come up this month. A
The
lot of
whip
improvement week by week.
the women's division is like great, genuinely. Because we'll
Hmm.
talk about this in Dynamite, but there was a moment where I was just like super fucking hype.
Yeah,
I think it
good.
might be the same moment for us both.
We'll see. We'll see.
But no, like this match was really good. Also, Layla Hirsch getting a little bit of edge. I wouldn't say she's turned heel, it's just more of like a simple edge to her character,
Yeah.
which will be fun. But yeah, no, Cody Rhodes is our current TNT champion.
Hmm.
Anything else we want to mention about this episode?
No, it was a good time. It was a great time, and you know what? I genuinely enjoyed seeing all the vitriol on Wrestling Reddit the next day.
Oh
Fuck all
god.
of you.
The fact that they have not realized yet is just amazing. Hold on, I'm
Hmm.
fixing stuff. Everything good? Yeah, that was weird. There we go.
Did you
Alrighty.
see that comparing Cody to Roman Reigns meme that was going around that fucking Buster retweeted?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God damn. Adrenaline in my blood. Something something Cody Rhodes.
Exactly.
It's been my favorite fucking meme whenever I've been Digimon's been playing.
Yeah.
And there's Cody Rhodemon.
Cody Rhodesman, he is our special little boy.
Alright, speaking of special little boys, tell us about the special little boys vlogs.
All right. So, being the elite this week was a lot of little hinting and working around and setting up the Bucks' anticipation of Adam Cole's surprise. But before we get to them actually finding out what it is, Brandon Cutler basically goes up to Matt Lee of 2.0 and says, "Hey, you've had the BT Championship belt and done nothing with it for so long that people are starting to forget it exists. What the fuck? Do you have challenges or not?" And he's like, I've been busy. I haven't had time to look at the applications. There's a lot of stuff going on." And he's like, "No, enough bullshit. Defend it right now." He's like, "I'm in the middle of dinner with my family," and he's standing there with Jeff Parker and Daniel Garcia, and he's like, "I don't care. Defend it against them." So they have rock paper scissors matches, and he retains. Um,
Super.
yeah. Uh, then there's a really great little bit where oh goodness, I've forgotten his name. The I don't want to say overweight, but the bigger guy in the wingman.
Hmm.
Um, he goes up to Leva Bates and is like, "Hey, I saw what happened last week. You kissed Peter Avalon on the cheek because he got you a gift, and you felt embarrassed because you didn't. So you were trying to do that to make up for it. But you're fucking with his feelings by doing that. So I'm about to pay you some really good money on the indies to leave him alone. Here's $20." And she goes, "You know what? I'm my own person. Peter's his own person. To teach you a lesson, I'm just going to take this money and keep talking to him." And it's like, this is not going to go well.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's like from a logistical idea, it's like understandable. It's like, oh, you broke his heart, and now you're messing with him. Like, I don't trust you. Leave my friend
Mhm.
alone.
Yeah. We then see crowd footage of Kyle O'Reilly's debut, and we go backstage to Adam Cole walking up to the Bucks and being like, "Isn't this amazing? Isn't this the best Christmas ever?" I mean, I know I have some tensions with Kyle, but I mean, it was Bobby's idea, and I think it's going to work out really well. And he smoothed things over for me. It's going to be great. We're going to be a brand new supergroup, just like we always wanted. And the Bucks are like, "Yeah, that's great, man. Merry Christmas." And they kind of walk off dejected. That's the lead in for Dynamite. And then
Goddamn,
same.
like
Go ahead.
WWE gave AEW the perfect, like everything lined up, just perfect for everything.
Hmm.
You
Who'd
know,
have thought Triple H was so good at developmental? He was running developmental for an entirely different company.
no. What I'm talking about is like frickin' frackin'. What was I supposed to say? The elite stuff happens. Adam Cole joins in, and then um, Kenny Omega has to leave. And so we're going
Hmm.
like, oh, there's going to be tensions between the Super Click and all that kind of stuff. We're going to figure it out. And then Bobby Fish shows up. It's like, oh, hey, Bobby Fish. That's nice. He can, and he joins in. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, it's a little bit of undisputed era that might inform some of this. And then Kyle O'Reilly's contract is up. Like it's perfect. It's so serendipitous. It just lined up perfectly.
Now the question is, how long till we complete the set?
Oh, man, Roddy. Imagine
Because
this.
I'm a level with you. Roddy was always my favorite member of Undisputed Era.
Ooh, I can see it. I can see it. I can understand. But Kyle, the fucking guitar, man.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Also, and we'll talk about him in Dynamite. Holds up. Um, and I don't mean in wrestling ability. I mean in like depth, characterization, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, what if Roddy does come over, join the little super group, and they break off into their own unique new faction and leave Adam Cole, the guy who took all the glory in the other company, out by the wayside?
Mm.
There's something there. There's something there. In the meantime, tell me about the fucking strippers.
Basically just a fun little gag where Sammy's like, "All right, guys, I know Christmas wasn't so great last year, but we're gonna have a fun time this year, right?" And they all unwrap presents he got them that are obviously just tat he picked up at a CVS on the way to the hotel. And they're like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "No, no, but it's great. I have I have new costumes. We can do another Christmas photo shoot." And they're like, "It's not going to be like last year, is it?" He's like, "No, of course not." And then they go get changed, and Fuego and Alan, who are in like sexy reindeer costumes, are like, "Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, let's do it." And then Sammy comes out in his underwear, and Ty and Griff are like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then he's like, "No, here's your costumes." And Ty's costume is a Santa suit with one of those fake reindeer bodies beneath it, and Griff is a Christmas tree, and they're like, "Yeah, this is really stupid, but whatever, we'll take the pictures." Um, and then there is I'm just skimming through to look for other relevant shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uh, oh, we see the TNT crowd footage of the TNT Championship match, and then Cody cuts a promo on the Sammy vlog, basically saying everything he's thankful for. He goes, "I'm thankful for the fans who boo me. I'm thankful for the fans who cheer me. I'm thankful for the fans who are apathetic, and I'm thankful for the fact that I am the TNT champion. And again, I'm thankful that Sammy Guevara gave me such a great challenge, and I'm thankful that all of you have stuck with me and are going to continue to stick with me because we're not doing what you think. We are going on a wild ride that's going to go in a bunch of never been done before places, and I cannot wait for you to see what I'm talking about." And
Yeah.
that is basically all the relevant shit from the Sammy vlog.
That's what I keep saying. Like, he's not turning heel. He's turning a new. He's not turning tweener. He's turning a weird thing that's new, and it can fall flat on its face. But I don't.
He's turning into a three-dimensional character.
Yeah. But here's the thing: Hangman Page is a three-dimensional character. He's still a babyface.
Yeah, he's meant to be sympathetic, whereas I think Cody's three-dimensional character is going to be one that you can be sympathetic to, but you also probably won't be.
You know what? He's a classical anti-hero.
Hmm.
He's the kind of person who goes like, "Fuck you, fuck rules and decency. I am going to do what I want."
Yeah.
Um,
Cody Rhodes, the lethal protector.
I am Cody Rhodes, and I eat brains. Why is that? Though I set the Cody voice for that joke. I don't know. Who knows? So real quick, I watched Ethan Page's vlog.
Oh, how was that? How was
It's
that?
fun. It's the best way to put it. The BTE is the Young Bucks looking at the camera with smirks on their face, going like, "Huh, huh, huh? You get the joke? You get the joke? Huh, huh?" That kind of vibe. Sammy is a bunch of Zoomers hanging out, shooting the shit, being goofballs. This is a bunch of millennials hanging out, shooting shit, and being a couple of goofballs.
Hmm.
It's just a little bit older, a little bit more mature.
It comes off as much more of a behind the scenesy thing the few times I've watched it.
But in this episode, the main thing I remember is they were kind of wrapping up a little charity battle between Ethan Page and Ruby Soho, where like uh, they were arguing which convenience store was better. I think it was Sheets versus Bucky's.
Oh yeah, I remember when they started talking about that.
Well, they basically revealed who sold the most shirts for the charity thing, and it was Ruby Soho's Bucky shirt.
Mm.
So basically, next time they're in Jacksonville, they're going to a Bucky's, and Ruby Soho, who hates Bucky's, she hates the character, the store, everything, has to dress up in a Bucky's onesie and go into the store. And so a lot of the episode is Ethan Page talking to other wrestlers and going like, "Hey, you want to go to Bucky's when we go to Jacksonville? Ruby Soho is going to be wearing something
Hey,
embarrassing."
real quick, do me a favor. I gotta go take care of I gotta yeah.
All right. Well, Vax is going to be back in just a mo, so we'll be hanging out in just a second. We'll be back. I wanna I'm checking something on the twits. But back will be back. Yeah, no, I'm probably gonna keep watching Ethan Page's vlog just so I have a vlog to talk about in comparison to Vac's continued vlog talk. Vlog talk. That's a lot of professional wrestling. We just talk about vlogs at each other. And there's the boy. Here
So,
comes.
how was your lecture on mutant rights?
I didn't get into it.
Ah, damn it. I was trying to give you ample opportunity.
And nothing more about the vlog. So let's just dive in to Dynamite. So I shall read off the card.
Okay.
Since you read off Rampage. So, AEW Dynamite from the 29th of December 2021, New Year's Smash from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. The last time they will be in Daly's Place on TNT. Last time they'll be on Daly's Place this year of our Lord, 2021. And we start the show with JR coming back from cancer, live on commentary. And like this, they always give him a little entrance normally before the show starts, but this time they put it on the show, which is nice. But the first match on the card is Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, and the Lucha Brothers with Alex Abrahantes versus Hardy Party, which is Matt Hardy and Private Party, and FTR with Tully Blanchard in their corner, the Hardy Family Office. And eventually, FTR wins by pinning Cage after a big rig. And again, more announcements that next week, Dynamite is going to be on TBS. Set your DVRs.
They're going to the mothership. How many times can Excalibur say that in an episode?
Yeah. It's a fun phrase that he thought would work. In the meantime, Daniel Garcia and 2.0 versus Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful. Matt Lee's peas on Santana. It was really weird and kind of fetishy.
Oh my god, AEW After Dark.
Isn't that just Elevation?
Elevation is before Dark.
But Matt Lee pins Santana by rolling up and grabbing the pants. Again, second time in a row. Post-match beatdown on Santana and Ortiz. But Chris Jericho comes in for the save. Kingston confronts Jericho and Ortiz tries to play peacemaker. MJF is backstage, calls Sting unsafe, claims Punk stayed away from him during their match, tells Wardlow to start going for the TNT title so that Wardlow will give it up to MJF with a cameo from Smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone talks to the Lucha Brothers backstage, set up a match between them and Jurassic Express. Mr. Mayhem Wardlow with Sean Spears in his corner versus Colin Delaney. Wardlow pins after 4 slowly doled out power bombs. Post-match beatdown by Spears. The UE and the Young Bucks backstage promo introduces Kyle O'Reilly and set up tensions between the two groups in a very, very interesting promo. Dan Lambert, in the middle of the year, cut a promo against Cody Rhodes, makes fun of Nightmare Family members, draws the ire of Brandy Rhodes. Ethan Page takes a cheap shot at Dustin Rhodes. Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson 2 video package. which is going to be happening next week. Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling versus Thunder Rosa in the TBS Championship Tournament. Jade pins after a jaded. Rosa is knocked out by a hooded figure, while the ref is distracted. Post-match beatdown by on Rosa where the hooded figure is revealed to be Mercedes Martinez, and Ruby Soho makes the save. We then get a recap on Chris Statlander and Layla Hirsch. Riho versus Britt video package. CM Punk cuts an in-ring promo and does the babyface CM Punk things that he's been doing in AEW. He congratulates JR on being back. He shows his love and appreciation for AEW and all that they've done. His love and appreciation of Daily's Place. And gave a very sweet little reminder of Brody Lee 1 year after his passing. And then goes into basically cutting a promo against MJF, basically going like, yeah, I'm not going to actively try and fight you, but we're both going for the belt, so we're going to run into each other eventually. Ricky Starks then cuts a backstage promo, says Taz will do a more trying to train Hook, and they will have Dante screwed up with Ricky. His whole career will be in danger. Sammy Guevara Q-Card promo details his reign as TNT champion and his match with Cody Rhodes. Makes New Year's resolution to beat Cody and win the title back. Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb video package. Tony Schiavone talks to Brian Pillman Jr. in the ring, says his memory from facing off with Malachi is completely black. Promises to brand new Brian next week. Malachi makes an appearance and points menacingly. The Acclaimed backstage promo, Anthony Bowens calls out Darby Allin. Sting and Darby backstage promo. Sting points out every match should be treated like a main event, and Darby accepts the Rampage challenge. Tay versus Ford and Bunny video package. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole versus the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy of Chaos. O'Reilly pins Beretta after chasing the Dragon and assist from the Young Bucks. Post-match shouting match between the Bucks and Fish and O'Reilly. So what do we want to talk about first? Because there was a lot of things in this episode.
Let's talk about the MJF verse. Let's talk about the MJF through lines and connections running all throughout this episode, really, because we got an MJF promo backstage, we got a match from MJF's bodyguard, we got a women's match involving another client of MJF's lawyer. We got a in-ring promo where somebody was calling MJF out. This is a big MJF show, I think.
And here's the thing: it wasn't just like MJF is here. Look at MJF win. It was very much of like, this is gonna sound a little cringe. MJF is the kingpin of AEW.
Mm-hmm. He's got influence. He's got his fingers in all kinds of pies going on right now.
And he's in the background. He's not up front. He's not the one doing all the things, but he's there making sure his stuff gets done.
It's cool. It's interesting. I like it. I like how it makes AEW feel like an expansive, connected world without hitting you over the head with that. Like, I can point that out. I can connect all these dots like I just did. But it wasn't like commentary was going on and on about like, oh, another MJF thing this episode. It's something that's there. MJF is important. He's one of the four pillars. So he's being written to be an important sort of focal point for a lot of things.
I mean, and so is Darby. Darby is also treated in that same way because CM Punk mentioned Darby. The Acclaimed are going after Darby. A bunch of other things with Darby. Like...
Jungle Boy's got his whole thing going on.
Yeah. I think the best way to sum up this kind of continuity, which is the kind of continuity we like, is, like, think about Marvel. When you need a lawyer in Marvel, don't make up a character. You got Matt Murdock and you got Jen Waters.
And you got well, if you don't want to have Matt explicitly involved, you put Foggy in there.
Yeah. But, like, it's not going like, oh, no, Matt Murdock of Daredevil. It's not the focal point. It's just like, oh, no, people know the character. He is a lawyer. Put him in here. Smart Mark, his character he is a lawyery, managery person.
And he has a pre-established connection to MJF, but we haven't seen them in the same scene together in a while.
Yeah, But like bring in my lawyer so you can read the contract, which also really dives further into the MJF Wardlow tension.
Hmm. And it also brings up a worryingly reoccurring trend, which is that apparently nobody in AEW reads their contracts.
No,
Every time a contract's brought up, it's, oh, I got screwed. I didn't check that. They put stuff in there that allowed them to screw me over. It's like, maybe you should have read your fucking contract.
I mean at least it's happening to the heels. I don't remember it ever happening to a babyface.
It turned Private Party into heels because remember their whole thing with Matt.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like anytime you screw someone over, it's like Hangman pulling a fast one on Matt Hardy.
Hmm. That's true. That happened. And then Taz has had that happen to him multiple times in the last couple months.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's oftentimes it's heels getting one over. Like
Hmm.
it's people getting one over on the bad guys.
Yeah, and here we're being reminded how much of a horrible indentured servant situation Wardlow has going on, which is a lot of fun. You know, the I didn't pick up on it when I was actually watching it, but every other analyst has been quick to point out the thing MJF actually tells him is he's not aiming for the TNT title specifically. He's aiming for the face of the Revolution ladder match, which was a Revolution thing last year. I guess it's coming back this year, and MJF wants Wardlow to get a spot in it and hand his spot in the match over to MJF. Uh, I'm guessing we might be finally hitting to that Wardlow face turn we've been speculating on for years.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily like they've been laying the groundwork. They've just been showing the characterization of Wardlow is put upon and hates MJF.
Hmm. But he's not a bitch. He is his own man. He's going to do what he wants to do within a certain parameter because MJF directly tells him, "Hey, Spears has been telling you, and now I'm telling you, stop fucking around in these matches. Just get the W." And so he goes in and he has this match with Colin Dehaney, who I'd never heard of before and thought looked like the most indie jobber I'd ever seen an indie jobber look like. Apparently, he's from the original ECW, so I felt bad about that. Um, but he gives him like a ton of power bombs, but takes his time. Even when Spears is standing there going like, "What the fuck? I thought we talked about this."
Yeah,
It's great.
and here's the thing: the look on his face is like, "All right, I'm just gonna get this done." Bomb. Here's the crowd, and it's like he takes a step around, and he goes like, "Ah, fuck." Bomb. Listens to the crowd, like, "Yeah, bong, bong," and then he does the cocky ass 1 foot on a person pin.
It's something everybody can sympathize with too, because he's doing the one part of his job he actually enjoys. Everybody who's got a shitty job has that one thing in the job they actually enjoy doing, and so they stretch it out and make it the as much of their shift as they can.
And like it gives Wardlow fulfillment.
Mhm.
Being the bitch for MJF, it pays him, sure, but he doesn't get anything out of it. He doesn't feel fulfilled.
Yeah, he's in AEW, but why is he in AEW being somebody's bitch if he's not going to have some fun matches at the same time?
Yeah. But continuing that MJF line, you talked about Smart Mark Sterling, who his client Jade Cargill was in a match against Thunder Rosa, which was choice.
How about it? All we had to do was get Jade and Thunder in the same ring to have Jade have a unique match.
Jade's not bad. Come on.
Jade's not bad. She's just been doing the same song and dance since she debuted, and it was starting to get a little obvious, which is probably why they shook it up so much here. We
Yeah.
saw somebody actually give Jade a run for her money, um, and that's why we saw Jade pull out some actual proper heel tactics now. Because Jade has been a heel, but she's always been a "Oh, I'm just stronger and I'm bigger and I can beat anybody by pure strength, so why shouldn't I be full of myself kind of heel. Now we see there's a little chink in that armor. There's a
Mm-hmm.
little something else that makes her maybe need some extra hands around.
Yep. Speaking of extra hands, those extra hands are Mercedes Martinez, The first, I think, wrestler who's went from AEW to WWE back to AEW.
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, she only had like a cup of coffee in AEW. I don't think she was even signed,
No.
but still.
No, no, no. She had one or two matches and was in the Women's Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
WWE picked her up, did nothing with her,
Put her in retribution.
and now she's here.
So, interesting life and times for this Mercedes Martinez.
Oh yeah, but she can definitely do interesting things here, especially because she did get an official All Elite graphic,
Mm-hmm.
which means she's what? That's tier one.
Yeah.
They've talked about their hiring practices. It's going to be interesting, especially because now we're actually getting proper women's factions and not just one woman faction just over there being,
Yeah.
we're getting more.
Who was it this week that was talking about like actually canonizing you got to be in a faction to survive? Somebody said something like that this week.
Kyle.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And we'll talk about that in a second, but I really enjoyed this match. It was fun. It was good to see more happening in the women's division.
Mhm.
And then the last little bit of MJF that you said we needed to talk about, the CM Punk promo. Because CM Punk cut a very, very heartfelt promo, and then it went into selling you matches and stuff.
One of his best in a while, I think, because he's been doing CM Punk babyface promos almost every week since he came back, but they've been a little short but sweet the last few times. This one I felt like was proper good 10 minutes of just Punk being Punk.
Well, I mean, you're in the AEW hometown. Like,
Hmm.
that's WWE in Madison
And they
Square.
made an almost annoyingly big deal out of that. CM Punk for the first time in Daly's place. Take a shot every time somebody says that.
I mean, come on. Like, they, to me, and this may just be the Floridian in me saying it, but to me, Daly's place is AEW.
Oh no, it's the MSG of AEW.
Yeah, it's the Hammerstein Ballroom of Ring of Honor. It's the Hammerstein Ballroom. It's that one place PWG was in for decades.
It's their ECW arena.
Yeah, it's very important. It's integral to the identity of AEW, but it's also he was out there cutting a promo for Daly's place for the Jacksonville crowd, who are like AEW faithful.
Yeah. There were people with signs saying we Daly's place missed AEW and stuff like that.
Like I think they will always sell out Daly's place whenever they go there,
Hmm.
just because it's the hometown boy. It
Yeah.
it's a company, but it's like, oh fuck yeah, AEW, they're ours.
Hmm.
Everybody else can have W. No, no, no. AEW's ours. It's Florida's. It's Jacksonville's. That kind of thing.
Also, just the fucking line. MJF is a bigger waste of money of con money than Tim Tebow.
And then the
That
whole crowd was like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right."
that was insane.
It was a good line,
Hmm.
but CM Punk did talk about Brody Lee some, and just it has been a 1 year since he's gone, and it's just basically like Brody Lee is here. He's our heart, the heart, the spirit of AEW.
He was a good boy who did good boy things, and he is still sorely missed.
And he's the reason I'm here. So if you want to cheer me on, thank Brody Lee. And then the Brody chant started happening. It was a sweet, very adorable.
Hmm.
And then the MGF section of the promo happened.
Yep.
That's the
It's
one
good.
thing about CM Punk babyface promos is like, "Hi, I'm CM Punk. I'm saying really heartfelt, heartwarming things. All right, now I need to talk about the match I'm in next."
Uh-huh.
But it was good.
It's a sound strat. It's played out, but it's a sound strategy of, hey, I'm a good guy. You like me. You like the things I say that validate how you feel. Now come with me on this journey as I get really mad about this one person in particular.
But yeah, no, the MJF through line was pretty good. But I think the other through line that was just as good was the Undisputed Era Elite storyline
Yeah.
that's starting to brew up.
Do you think they're going to come up with a new name for them, or is it just going to be the Red Dragons? Because they brought back the Red Dragons imagery for this match.
I think they even brought back the Ring of Honor Red Dragon theme.
Oh, okay.
I think that was
I,
their Ring of Honor theme.
I thought that was just Bobby Fish's general indie theme.
It might be. I don't remember. Who knows?
Hmm.
But I really enjoyed the promo backstage segment where Adam Cole's going like, "All right, everything's gonna be great, everything's gonna be good," and no one else is having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyle O'Reilly goes like,
Took me back to Cody's ROH Championship celebration in BTE.
and then Kyle O'Reilly basically goes like, "All right, we need to have a talk. We need to discuss continuity." And
Yeah,
basically continue the WWE storyline.
yeah.
Who knew? Who knew that to get the NXT storylines we want, we'd have to watch AEW.
Mm-hmm. It's like we've been saying the last couple of weeks. AEW cares about continuity in all wrestling.
Because this was legitimately like acknowledging the storyline, treating it with respect, not shitting on it. Like they could have easily shat on it because it was a Triple H storyline.
Mm-hmm.
They could have easily
But
just
here's
went
the
like,
thing:
it's bullshit, whatever.
everything with the Undisputed Era in NXT was Triple H. A lot of the reasons people like the Undisputed Era guys now is Triple H. So you got to go with it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the creative people at AEW understand and respect the storylines that people found enjoyable. They don't shit on it just because of who made it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Triple H called them a pissant company, they have every right to be like, go like, no, we're not gonna fucking follow up on anything he set up. Why would we? Why would we care about what he did? But no, they go like, no, people enjoy this. Let's pay it off. Let's acknowledge it so we can move forward with what we want to do.
Logical storytelling.
Yeah, who'd have thunk? Do we want to go into the main event, or do we want to talk about some other stuff first?
I mean, we could talk about the main event, but there is other stuff I want to talk
Let's talk about
about
the main event
after
last.
that.
So, let's just dive into some specific things. Let's start from the top of the card. Anything you want to mention? Just kind of discuss.
I mean, obviously, I got to talk about Dan Lambert and Brandy. So a lot of people getting upset about this promo. A lot of people going like, "Oh my God, why are they making rude comments about sex work in the year of our Lord 2021 on live TV?" I'm like, have you people fucking watched professional wrestling before? Do you not understand that one of these people is a bona fide heel and one of them is
A tweener.
usually is a tweener? Like, you're not supposed to like these people.
You're supposed to get angry at these comments, especially in the very much more sex work positive era we're in.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're supposed to get angry. Good, get angry. That's the character.
Like, and Cody's not in this segment, but we show how he's starting to turn by having Brandy come out instead of him and confront Dan Lambert, and then have Brandy stoop to the same levels Lambert was going to with her comments of, "When was the last time a woman beat you up without you paying her to?" Like, that's an anti-sex work comment too, and that shows that at least somebody in Cody's inner circle is willing to stoop to this heel's level. Like, we're on our way. It's happening. It's coming.
There was
Be
some also just
fucking
some banger
patient.
ass lines in this whole. Once Brandy came out and there was the exchange of like, you are just a low rent cheap knockoff of Paul Heyman. It's like that's a good line.
And then he goes, I preferred Jim Cornette.
Which is immediate heel heat in AEW.
Mm-hmm. And I know some people said it was cringy, but honestly, I loved, oh, you're a black belt? Well, I'm a black bitch. Let's
That's
go.
I fucking lost my shit. It's like, hell yeah, Brandy, fucking go at it.
Yeah.
It was good. And then you just have fucking Dustin coming in trying to be like Superman. Trying to be like the good guy between like Wonder Woman and Batman arguing. He's like, guys, please, no. Stop.
And then fucking Flash just comes out of nowhere and turns his mask around.
But no, this was just a lot of good stuff. A lot of just simple zingers. It was cheap. A lot of the heat Dan Lambert was trying to get, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm. And like, I also noticed people saying like, "Oh, this feels like mid-card filler." It's the first match. It's the first feud for a new reign with the literal mid-card title. What did you expect?
Yeah.
I liked it, and it was good. And if you don't agree with me, you can fucking meet me outside Battle of the Belts next weekend, and we'll have a fight.
Jericho's back.
He sure is.
I liked him coming back. It was fun.
It was a nice surprise until it took him way too long to check on Santana.
Yeah. But then we did also have that confrontation between Kingston and Jericho, and that was
good.
That's interesting. There's some interesting things there.
I don't need your help, old man. Mm.
All the video packages this episode were also just on point.
Yeah.
Adam Bryan was really good. Chris and Layla was pretty good. Riho and Britt was a really good one.
Mm-hmm. Freaking Sheeta and Deeb, that feud still feels like there's meat on the bone, even though it's gone quite a while now.
That was actually the fucking thing that made me stand up and go, the women's division is here.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sheeta was able to just so eloquently like lay out her point. You're the one who did it. It was in great crystal clear English, and she looked like a fucking Yakuza boss.
Oh yeah,
I love her in the red suit.
Her whole aesthetic, since like I want to say the second to last feud of her title reign, she has felt like a kindly Yakuza boss. Like I'm your friend, but I'm a bad bitch, and I will fuck you up if you even think about crossing me. That's the vibe she gives off, and I love it.
She money launders, but like if a grandma needs some help, she'll help.
Mm-hmm. She's like, oh god, I can't tell you about that. That's spoilers for no prize.
Oh lord.
Catwoman Lonely City is really good. Everybody should go read it.
Oh god, this fucking no prize is gonna be weird because it's gonna be you talking about a bunch of like pretty standard DC stuff, and then I have to come in and go like, "Yo, fucking timeless,"
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna be wild. Sammy's thing was cool. Ricky Stark's promo was fine. Brian Pillman Jr.
Ron Pillman Jr. seems interesting. It's one of those things where I like it. I like the level of passion he showed during that promo, but I'm not sure where this is gonna go, and where it does end up going is gonna greatly determine whether or not I enjoy it or not.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm trying to be like rote trope metaphor. This is a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is the spooky slasher picking off the teenagers one by one. Because, yeah, they're all adults. But their tag team, their whole little faction group, was coded as high school teenagers.
Yeah.
And Malachi is picked off one by one.
I was looking at the merch site today just for shits and giggles. And I noticed they have a merch shirt that's literally a Saved by the Bell homage.
Yeah. It's meant to evoke that kind of vibe. And I enjoyed Brian Pillman's uh, um, promo. There was one line I really liked. I never knew my dad that much, but for all I know, he wouldn't give up fight. Like he would, I would fight with as much passion as my dad,
Yeah.
which is always kind of sweet. I love the line from Dark Side of the Ring, and he should use this as much as possible. If the world didn't want me to wrestle, they shouldn't have named me Brian Pillman.
If his dad didn't want him to wrestle, he wouldn't have named me
Yeah,
Brian Pillman Jr. But yeah, I agree with that.
Malachi
I
pointing was spooky. I enjoyed it.
Apparently some people said I didn't notice it, but there were some people saying you can actually see him walking to the back after it fades out.
Oof.
Uh, how do you feel about Jurassic Express going for the tag titles next week?
I don't think they're gonna win, but I do think it's gonna be a banger match, and Jurassic Express deserves to be in that conversation.
Have you seen Alvarez's theory?
No.
Alvarez has theorized that either they are going to win or they're going to get screwed over somehow at a later date, or they are going to get screwed over in this match by Christian Cage. Because Christian Cage has been playing them this whole time, trying to get revenge for way back when in that battle royal, Jungle Boy eliminated him.
Maybe, but Christian hasn't shown that level of like even hints at that level of pettiness to kind of
Yeah.
foreshadow that that might be a possibility in
It's one of those
AEW.
things where it's like I can see it based off of how much of the talking he's been doing for them. But like if it's going that direction, I think right now would be way too soon. Like I feel like maybe if it's what's going to happen, because this is entirely conjecture on Alvarez's part, let's be honest here. They should win this match, have the titles, and just be getting pushed more and more into feuds for the titles by Christian until eventually they get the title they get a title match costed by Christian like 6 months to a year from now.
Maybe there is also the idea of like, what if this is the Lucha Bros turning heel?
Yeah. Because that promo was very much like both these guys are kind of being asses.
There's a possibility there. I don't know. I still think it's way too early in Lucha Bros' reign. I want to see them defend it some more times.
They've barely done anything with the belts.
Yeah, but that's just also because they were wrapped up in a harsher feud.
Hmm. And there's so much other shit going on right now too. It's like hard to come up with places to put title matches, but man, they're loading up that first TBS Dynamite, and then they got Battle for the Belts that Saturday. And still, the only match we have confirmed for that show is Riho versus Britt, which no ill words towards either of them, but like as somebody who's already bought a ticket, I'd like some bigger names on that card, please.
You're gonna get some. You know it.
Mhm. There'll be at least, hey, knowing Cody, there will at least be a TNT title defense. So
Yeah.
I got that to look forward to.
Unless they're going to play with the heel rule of like, if you're a heel, you don't defend the belt. Because if
Mm.
you're a babyface, you do open challenge. If you're a
We
heel,
shall
you don't.
see.
But is there anything else we want to talk about?
No, what do you want to talk about in relation to this main event?
It was really good.
Sure was.
Um, I like how Orange Cassidy was just like, all right, I'm gonna play with you. I'm gonna do my shtick, but I'm changing it up, and I'm not underestimating you,
Yeah,
which was nice. Trent looks great.
Trent's great. We haven't talked about this, but like I love that he's come back, and now that he's back, he's got his last name back, but he's still kept the question mark after Trent. So it's
Trent?
Trent Beretta.
Legitimately, that's how you have to say his name. Say it like that. Uh, goddamn, so good seeing Undisputed Era. So
It's
good
it's
seeing
so
them
weird
again.
for us because for a lot of people it's probably like a direct jump, but we haven't watched NXT in what, a year and a half?
And they were still together when we jumped ship.
Mm-hmm. I remember hearing about the breakup and being like, that should want to make me want to check back in, but like I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, because they were going to be moved to a main event scene that wouldn't care for them, but then they moved to
Yeah.
a main event scene that does care for them.
Yeah, we're doing stuff here. Things are happening.
Yeah. Um. Everybody looked cool. They had some cool stuff. So yeah.
Well, it's interesting that Adam gets takes a pretty heavy move, rolls out of the ring, and then Kyle and Bobby hit the chasing the dragon and pin, and it leaves the Bucks with Adam on the stage as the Red Dragons are celebrating in the ring, and that's the final image of the TNT era of Dynamite.
Yeah, they're playing up what Undisputed Era means. Like they can't use the name, but they're gonna figure something out.
Hmm. I mean, I said it last week. You could just call them the UE, and everybody would get it.
I Part of me doesn't want them to do that because it's so heavily associated with NXT. Like
Mm.
FTR has always been an AEW name.
Yeah.
That's always been more associated with BTE, AEW, the Bucks, in relation to um, Revolution.
Hmm.
Then FTR happens, and they become FTR. There isn't really an equivalent for Undisputed Era, and I like that's kind of a thing. It's like there's still Undisputed Era in my head, but it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested in seeing what's gonna happen.
Same here.
So yeah, that was wrestling in the week, and ultimately that was wrestling throughout the year that we've been doing a variety of podcasts and talking about and watching. So let's just kind of like a little wrap up. How do you feel about how wrestling shaped up this year?
I think it was definitely a better year than last year. There's a lot of painful kind of growing things about this year. A lot of hard things. A lot of people had to come to terms with.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I'd say it was a good year, and there's been some really amazing moments that I don't think either of us are going to ever forget. I mean, like, God, it's gonna be on everybody's list of like top wrestling things that happened in the year, but like I can still remember the just the anticipation leading up to CM Punk's debut at the first dance.
Oh yeah,
Like all day at work, just thinking about nothing but that, and then getting in my car after clocking out and putting on the greatest hits of Living Color to listen to while I drove home. Mm.
there's a lot of good bits like that. This was also like the year the COVID era kind of disappeared. COVID hasn't
Hmm.
gone away, but the COVID era of wrestling.
COVID's still a problem, but it's not a big enough problem that it's damaging wrestling anymore.
Yeah, which really improved AEW. It just gave a booster shot to AEW. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, One bad thing about this year wrestling though, fucking releases.
fucking releases, man. It's insane the amount of people that WWE has just cast aside in the last year because of well, they claim budget cuts, but it seems like a large sweeping batch of changes in policy and how they bring people up and what the future of that company is going to look like and how the future of that company for some reason just isn't in line with what wrestling fans like.
Yeah.
Like I've said many times, I don't want us to be a WWE bad, AEW good show. But the fact of the matter is, neither of us watch WWE on any kind of basis anymore, just because it is not what we want to
Not even
watch.
pay-per-views. Not even the big four pay-per-views.
No, I think the last pay-per-view I watched was probably I watched part of the last Money in the Bank.
You want to know where I've seen the most WWE?
Where?
Clips of Xavier Woods on G4.
Yeah, or like shit that Wrestling Observer retweets from WWE wrestlers I see.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or like any of the like wrestling recap reviews of an AEW show, and they go like, "Oh yeah, this was happening in this show, and it's kind of similar or different or that kind of thing." It's just like,
yeah. I mean, we primarily talk about AEW here, but the fact of the matter is, I watched more Impact and I watched more ROH than I did watch new WWE this year. Because there's classic stuff I still go back and revisit every once in a while. Um, but there's just not a lot new WWE that's coming out that catches my eye. Occasionally, I'll I'll see a headline or rather a clickbait title about a segment from Raw or SmackDown that'll be like, okay, let's see what this is actually about, and then I'll watch it and I'll go, okay, that's interesting, but not interesting enough to get me to watch that show.
yeah. But speaking of Ring of Honor, the fucking closing the doors of Ring of Honor, fuck.
Yeah, potentially maybe dead. We'll see come March, I think.
Yeah. I think
It
March
really
is too soon.
sucks.
I think if it's going to come back, it's going to be more midsummer.
Yeah.
Just a gut there. I don't have any reason to believe that. But no, that's like so many people out of a job. Some of them have been signed or hinted at being signed at AEW.
Other companies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some AEW wrestlers have already started storylines with them. Freaking
The Briscoes.
FTR wants to fight the Briscoes, and I'm here for that.
Jay
Uh,
Lethal's already signed. Ethan Page and the Sons of a Gun.
mhm. Danhausen is an AEW character. I don't care what anyone says.
Yep, Danhausen just needs to heal his leg, and he's in AEW.
Danhausen, this is man. If it's been anyone's year, it's been Danhausen's year. He has worked his way into so many people's hearts and minds this year.
Purely from social media too,
Yeah,
because nobody was watching Ring of
just
Honor.
being a good YouTuber.
Yeah. Um, I do think this is the year where social media wrestlers really started to figure out their game.
Hmm.
Because like beforehand, you had people who were popular on social media but weren't fluent in it, like Orange Cassidy. Got really
Yeah.
popular because people could share around his gifts. It's fun, but he wasn't using social media. But then you have people like Danhausen and Nyla Rose, huge on Twitter, doing great Twitter things. Speaking of Nyla Rose, she's writing a fucking Marvel comic. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she's been
Let's
doing
not forget we've still got the AEW game cooking in the
mm-hmm.
background.
Bunch of just interesting things. The the way I put it is the noted internet indie scene is
Hmm.
coming up strong
You
because
know what's been weird about this year though?
hmm,
It's just popped into my head. I've been more interested in what's happening in AAA than I have been in New Japan.
yeah, I mean it's also just because like some of our favorite wrestlers in AEW are AAA.
Hmm. And we've had
Like
some
the
people
Lucha
from New
Bros.
Japan. Yeah, we've had some people from New Japan come over. Like, let's not
Oh
forget
yeah,
Suzuki's brief but wonderful run.
Murder Grandpa, Ishii,
Uh,
Chaos. This is definitely the year of the Forbidden Door.
yeah, but like New Japan itself hasn't been doing anything to catch my attention. No matter how many people tell me how good the matches on the G1 were last night, it's like I'm a story guy. What story thing is happening there that's gonna draw me in?
And I think that's a big problem. Is like so many of their big characters have come injured.
Oop, drop something.
You good?
Yeah, I dropped something. Hang on.
Oh no, Kvak
I'm good.
dropped.
I'm good.
But like a lot of their big characters are injured right now, so like
Yeah. And apparently their championship belt is cursed? What?
they changed the belt, and pretty much everybody who's had it has just gotten injured or bullshit happened to them. Like, um,
I did love Zayn's joke about it looking like Cody's logo, though.
it does. There's a distinct possibility it might not look like that much longer.
Mm-hmm.
If Ace
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Tanahashi, thank you, because he's gunning for the belt right now.
Mhm. You know, I should really. It's interesting because, like, I'll say it here because nobody watches this fucking show. One of my plans for my channel in the future is I want to do a Garo video every Halloween.
Hmm.
I haven't done a single Garo video yet, so I've got to do the original series to establish it this year. But next year, I might just jump way the fuck ahead and do the one-off special that has Hiroshi Tanahashi as the first Garo.
That sounds like a plan.
Mhm. We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking
Whenever
about
you say his name, Hiroshi Tanahashi, you say it in full,
it.
and you do his Kabuto pose.
The Ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
No, don't close all the fingers. It's open a little bit like Kabuto.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I should
Why do
probably
I-
also I should probably also watch Kabuto this year. This next year that's coming in like less than 48 hours. Jesus.
Jiminy fuck knucking Christmas.
What oh, we should talk about the Hangman. The Hangman had a wonderful year.
Hangman won the belt. He did all the things. He's a dad.
Contrary to popular belief, his story is not resolved. There's
No.
still more to do.
No story's ever finished.
No.
To think his story was finished is to misunderstand what the story was about.
You can wrap up a chapter, but the book still goes on.
Because the story wasn't just about, oh, he needs to build up confidence to get the belt and then he'll be good. The story is, this is a man with self-confidence issues in an industry where you need to have self-confidence. How does that fuck with your mind?
Mm-hmm. And that story can go as long as Hangman wants it to, because to quote the Endless One, story don't stop till the storyteller drops.
Yep. Fuck. I had a thought.
Okay.
No, I was trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, fucking Malachi.
Yeah, your boy.
My boy, back in my heart, back in my soul.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn. Also, just doing amazing things. I don't think he's had a moment of a miss yet.
Yeah. My boy definitely had not a dull year, but a weaker year by comparison, I'd say. But I think we're about to have a very interesting Cody year, let's say.
Oh yeah, no. The best way I can think about it. No, what? This is actually not a bad comparison. The character Cody is kind of developing reminds me a little bit of GCW Matt
Cardona. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's playing
also, fucking Matt Cardona had an amazing year. Jesus.
Matt Cardona, hardcore champion, hardcore legend. What the fuck?
He lost the internet title to someone for the first year after that, for the first time ever after that too.
Mm-hmm.
He
but also,
actually
like,
got a feud with that thing to happen. That's crazy.
But also, he created one of the most interesting and fascinating characters in professional wrestling by doing nothing and changing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting it in a different context. It's fascinating.
Are we talking about Cody again, or are you still on that?
Matt Cardona, GCW, WWE babyface.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like, man's also had a great year personally. He's finally got a new date for his wedding set. Him and Brian Myers actually have a toy company now, which is
Really?
crazy, but good for them. They're bringing back bendy wrestler figures, like the Gumby style ones.
Hell yeah. There's
They've
people who
signed
would
a
want
bunch
some
of
of them.
they've signed a bunch of indie guys and legends, and they just released a video on Christmas actually detailing the history of the original Just Toys Bendham's line and going into sort of their plans for their line in the future based off of their thoughts on the old line.
You know what? That's good on them.
Yeah. Um,
Wrestling picked up this year.
it certainly did. What are some things you're looking forward to next year? What's something you want to happen next year?
I want to see the House of Black so bad.
Mhm.
I want to see Brody King in AW. I definitely want to see the Forbidden Door used more, not for just novelty, but for story progression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because so far it's just been novelty. It's nice to see New Japan people in AEW every once in a while, but like, imagine a storyline where a babyface loses and he goes on an excursion to all the Forbidden Door territories to kind of relearn and train himself. You can do that.
I
That's a story.
um I'm not gonna say I want to see because I know it will happen. I'll just say I'm looking forward to Mox coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I but spinning off of that, I want to see Hiroshi Tanahashi in AEW finally.
Mm.
Let's make it happen. Um uh I know he needs time in other spaces, and I hope he has a very good movie career. But I do want to see Bray Wyatt do suffing wrestling. I want to see Wyndham Rotunda get to do suffing in the wrestling sphere again, and allow his creativity to actually run its course for once. Because
Yeah.
I think that man genuinely has the potential to be the Keita Amamiya of wrestling.
There's a lot of things there. But also, I wouldn't put it past that he just goes like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. I want to movies is what I want to make.
Hmm. And if that's what happens, fine. But as I have to say, as a fan, I would be head over heels for him to come back.
Do you think we're gonna get the AEW game next year?
I would not be surprised if it's out by next holiday season.
And let's see, we're probably gonna get Kenny Omega back sometime middle of next year.
Yeah.
Maybe a full year.
Ooh. The year without an Omega.
Yeah. But I mean, like, come back the day he lost it, like he left, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like poetry, it rhymes.
It's like poetry. It binds.
Mm.
Hmm. But nah, this last year was really good, and I do believe wrestling this upcoming year will be fucking banger.
Mhm.
Because everything's on the table for it to be banger.
All we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's wrestling, and that's MMWP Live, folks. Do you have anything you want to kind of mention before we start our sound off?
Uh, I mean, this technically isn't the last modular release of the year because tomorrow night, myself and the Roller Coaster Snow Cone 83 will be counting down our top 10 toys we picked up in the last year. But this is the last time, in chronological order, you and I will be addressing the modular masses because I recorded that podcast with Cody
Mm-hmm.
a week ago.
Yep.
So, given that this is our final appearance of the year, it's not been an incredible period of growth for modular, but it has been a solid period, and it's been a good year, I would say. There's been some very rough patches, and there's been a few hiccups here and there, but I think overall we're still coming along, and we've still got some great stuff going. We started a number of shows this year, which are set to pick up even more next year. Um, and Did we bring in both Buster and Snow Cone this year, or did we bring in Snow Cone late 2020? I can't
2020, I do
remember.
believe.
Okay, yeah, but we brought on Buster this year, and hey, going by track record, that means we should probably have a new member ready to go in like 3 months. Uh, I don't have anyone lined up. I'm
I
just making
know,
that
I
joke.
know. That's
Uh,
why I'm laughing. It's a funny joke.
yeah. But it is unfortunate because I had promised several times that we would have a new date for the Modular Summit by the end of the year.
Everybody's life has just been so fucking chaotic, we haven't been able to think about it and even know when we'd be free.
Yeah, just didn't happen, hasn't come together, but
Maybe we kind
we
of just like
gotta.
rough estimate kind of like mid late next year.
Hmm.
Just kind of give ourselves the
I would
time.
love to I would love to do it over my school that I work at's spring break, but I feel like that's very optimistic at this point. We got to get with the roller coaster. The roller coaster's got to finally get settled into his new store location because
He's
we
in
were talking
control.
about we were talking about this before we recorded the podcast that's coming out tomorrow, but Cody got to his new job and they just like immediately put him into holiday hours. So he hasn't really been able to gauge what a normal week for him is going to be like. And he probably won't have that data until mid-January. But around that time, we'll probably try and get with him, try and bash things out, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, though, I'll be able to poke this guy's man flesh in the not too distant future.
Year 3000 BC.
Oh, dear.
AD.
Oh,
Not too
okay.
distant future. Ba-da-da-ba-ba.
Okay.
Why don't you tell the people where they can find your shit?
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make videos on YouTube.com primarily about tokusatsu, the live action special effects genre. I got a new video out actually this week. My 10th anniversary special, 10 Vacuuminator, a TokuTuber Carol, is available at youtube.com/c/the Vacuuminator. Please go and check it out. I worked very hard on it. And if you want to see me tweeting and twatting about every little thing that comes into my head, follow me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator. And if you want to see me post photos of action figures and dogs, follow me on Instagram at _vacuuminator.
Hell's bells. Hey! Howdy, howdy. I am Chris A. Boingo Writer Gaston. I do a variety of content on the internet. Do you want to watch streams? Twitch.tv/Boingo Writer. Do you want to watch video essays? Type Boingo Writer into YouTube. You'll find them. You want to follow Twitter? Boingo_writer. Instagram? Boingo_writer. TikTok? Boingo_writer. Oh, that's all the places. That's all the things. I do a variety of things. In the meantime, if you like this podcast, you can give us a like, a comment, and a subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe for this podcast and many more, including Components, where we just talk weekly bullshit. No Prize, where we talk Marvel movies, comics, merchandise, and more. And we also have the other podcasts in our wheelhouse. Tell them about Twit.
This week in Tokusatsu, or Twit, with myself and Miriam of Buster Corp, is a show where we discuss everything and anything that's come out related to the Japanese genre of live action special effects known as Tokusatsu. Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Super Sentai, and more. If you like those things, you'll probably maybe like the podcast. I don't know. I'm not your mom. I'm not gonna try and tell you what to like.
We also have another podcast called No More Games, where me and Buster talk about games and games news and game information that's been happening, going on. We're gonna start it back up in the new year. We only have a pilot out, so keep an eye out and look out for that. But in the meantime, this MMWP Live. Do we have any final words to say, Vac?
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Good
Good.
year.
Yes.
Happy new year of wrestling.
Yes.